Welcome to Ancient Tales by KANA channel, where we keep tales alive and forever.
Episode 28 Her Majesty the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana, the Honourable Queen of Thailand who suffered the most from losses, but dignity and pride remained. The unforgettable losses of Her Majesty the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana were not only her firstborn royal son, His Royal Highness Prince Maha Vajirunahit, but also later in 1879, she lost her second-born one, His Royal Highness Prince Isriyalongkorn, when he was only 21 days old. And then in 1881, she lost again her royal daughter, Her Royal Highness Princess Vichitjiraprabha, when she was 4 months old. The sorrow of these incidents were unstoppably happening to the Queen. In 1893, she lost another one of her newly born daughter, who did not even have the royal grace to be named after her birth date only 3 days, which was kind of the same time after Prince Maha Vajirunahit passed away in 1894 due to typhoid fever. After the greatest loss of her royal son, His Royal Highness Prince Maha Vajirunahit, even though she was painful in grief and sadness, but still she knew well there was a change as royal wife practically in her priorities and ranks. She was not the only queen that matters. Whenever she needed to go to any events with King Rama V and the Queen Mother Sawapha the king usually asked her to walk in the front of the Queen Mother Sawapha by saying that elder sister should lead at the front, the younger one should be right behind. Anyhow, the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana tried her best to avoid going anywhere together. For example, once she went to Java, Indonesia, along with the king and the Queen Mother Sawapha, her younger sister. She chose to stay downtown where it was not the royal travel path for the king to go. She did not want to confuse anyone who was the real Queen Rama V. Obviously, she was mentally and physically accepting Her Majesty the Queen Mother Sawapha as the real Queen of Siam. When King Rama V had royal travel to Europe, he had a royal command to nobly title the Queen Mother Sawapha as his official deputy in charge of everything while he was away, which made the first time ever in Siam history that we had our queen who was actually leading the country instead of the king. There was also an announcement stating in the Gazette as well, including the short designations to be called by those royal pages in the palace. The Queen Mother Sawapha was changed to Somdet Riyen, which had the same meaning in English as the regent, replacing Somdet Tibon. Meanwhile, Her Majesty the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana was called Somdet Pratamnak, as the same as before. It was pretty clear that the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana had stepped aside for her younger sister in everything which was supposed to be her duty. Furthermore, in 1898, her heart was torn off again with the sudden death of another one of her daughters, Her Royal Highness Princess Sirapon Sopon Pimonratanawadi, when she was only 9 years old due to the liver disease. Not long after that, when King Rama V had returned from the royal travel to Europe, he was traveling back with the presence of one of her sons, His Royal Highness Prince Sumutiwong Warothai, Kromakhunsi Thamara Thamlongrit, who had grown up and become a real gentleman. He was good-looking and pretty much unlike his elder brother, the Prince Maha Vajirunahit, who had already passed away. It was like an oasis in the desert. Her health conditions and wellness were much getting better. But then the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana had to face another traumatic straits when the returned prince, His Royal Highness Prince Sumutiwong Warothai, had suffered from typhoid fever and passed away at the end. It was a very bad and unacceptable situation for the Queen to move on. She barely walked at that time. She cannot even go to the funerals of her 3 children's dead in a row, which was kind of almost the same ceremony. The doctor who treated her advised that she needed to move from the palace and spend some time away near the sea to heal her both physical and mental illnesses. She spent over 3 years at Sri Racha, Chonburi, until she got better and moved back to the palace in Bangkok. During her stay at Sri Racha, she had an instructions to build the hospitals and a lot of medical aids required there. Later on in 1929, the Queen lost again her precious royal son, His Royal Highness Prince Mahidol Adulyadej, Kromakhun Songkra Nakarin, the father of the King Rama VIII and IX, the grandfather of King Rama X. Then on the 13th of June 1934, Her Royal Highness Princess Yawapha Phongsanit, her adopted daughter who was the closest to the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana herself, who was the one that the Queen intended to have by her side until her last day on earth. Unfortunately, the princess had passed away before her, and again, it was a big felt of emptiness in the Queen's broken heart. After the country regime had been changed, all the royal bloodline, princess and prince, were scattered to other countries for safety. It was a very hard time for them, including another one of the Queen's adopted sons, His Royal Highness Prince Gomakun Chainat Narenthorn. In 1938, he was arrested by the governors due to the political reason. His royal title and rank were stripped off. He became Rangsit Man prisoner and was judged to be jailed for the rest of his life. This incident was the biggest ever sadness that the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana had to go through. She mentioned that my children died. I have never felt too much torment to bear. It was the matter of the fact that we all die at the end of their life. Not like this time it was too much to accept. This is the greatest sorrow I used to have in my life. During the same period of time, Her Royal Highness Princess Walai Alongkorn, กรมหลวงเพชรบุรีราชสิรินธร the last one of her children who was still alive, had again passed away in 1938. Even Rangsit Man prisoner or the Prince Gomapra Chainat Narenthorn, he will be granted the higher royal rank later at Grom Praya. He had also passed away in 1951. The very last child who had an opportunity to take care of the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana, สมเด็จพระพันวษาอายิกาเจ้า until her last day, including the funeral, when she died, was her adopted daughter, Her Royal Highness Princess Wapi Butsabakon. Ladies and gentlemen, here has come an end of this episode on Ancient Tales by KANA Lab channel today. The very patient Queen of Siam, one of the greatest female lead we used to have in our history. Even though she had never been titled or announced in the Gazette as a deputy of the king as her younger sister, the Queen Mother Sawapa Pongsi, but her actions and responses were very inspired and obvious that the best way to cope with grief and sorrow is to accept it and move on. Like we always know the phrase, this too shall pass. So whatever obstacles that we are facing right now in 2020, I truly hope that this tale about the Queen Mother Savang Vadhana's courage and pride would represent consciousness and never give up attitude to all of us. Hope you find it one way or another this episode useful and entertaining.
Thank you once again for watching Ancient Tales by KANA Lab, where we keep tales alive and forever. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. We look forward to seeing you all again. Bye for now and have a good day.